It's me. It's me. It's NPP. That's right, y'all.
I don't know whether to like that or to hate it.
I got it's the headache for my laughter. It's like in this picture, Drew just shaking his head over there.
You gotta do it with the huge smile too, and a jacket that's airbrushed with your face in the back.
I'm happy he chose DDP, but I'm mad he chose that DDP.
I mean, come on. Listen, you know I'm a WWE stan. Come on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the No Pyro Podcast, live and direct. Welcome to the show. My name is Total Mac, a.k.a. TBD Mac, a.k.a. Sick Flair, a.k.a. Next Gen Mac. Joined, as always, with my cohorts who have been brave. I don't think we haven't missed like a lot of shows during COVID. We've been here. We've been busting through these horrible Monday and Friday night shows.
Busting through like old condoms.
Okay. That voice that you just heard was Swervily, aka Swervy Atmos, aka SVS Swerve, aka you made time out. That comment just blew me off my whole. Woo! All right, let me go back. That is Swervely, aka SVS Swerve, aka Swervy Atmos, aka Swollen Pal, FKA Yoko Tuna, aka I don't got no AKA for you today, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a freebie, man. 3 days and then 2 weeks away.
Oh, AKA Young PTO.
There you go.
How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Just counting down the days.
What do you have planned? Anything? Just a lot of R&R?
Well, I'm gonna go to Miami, then I'm gonna hit Houston, then I'm gonna hit
oh, all the hotbeds.
All the places where they ain't wearing a mask. That's where I'm going.
All the hotbed spots. I got you, dog. Hey, stay away from me, man. I have to put my 2 indexes and make a cross with them joints. Also joining us in the building as well, our boy No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka Dollar Rita Drew, aka Applebee.
Oh, I missed the Applebee's Don. I'm sorry.
Wow, he missed his cue. You had a perfect record.
Yeah, you did.
It's a premature crack.
And you already that wasn't even a real can.
It wasn't. I was waiting for you to stop talking before the show. I couldn't fucking wait.
Oh my goodness. I think everybody who listened to our last episode on YouTube, like, thank you so much. Made it one of our most listened to episodes, period, on YouTube and on SoundCloud. They all told you to shut the hell up. They're not here for you, man.
Hey, they're here for me. I'm in these streets. They're in the streets. Like Scottie Pippen's wife, I belong to the streets.
Ooh, taking digs.
Yo, Drew, listen. You don't want to be in the streets of shit, bro. I think she found her way back home, didn't she?
Yeah.
Nah,
even though she's been ran through more All-Stars than a fucking Kardashian.
Hey, man, that's how you got to build the empire nowadays. I mean, go for it.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, man, how was your weekend, Drew?
Short. Too short.
I hear you. All right, before we get to the topic at hand.
Is it short? Was it shorter than Jonathan Silverman, whatever that guy's name is on AEW?
Oh, my God.
It was almost, but not that short.
Yes, housekeeping. Hit us up on YouTube, No Pyro Podcast. Hit us up and subscribe on SoundCloud under the same name as well. We did a raffle on SoundCloud.com last year. we're doing a raffle on YouTube this year where when we get to 100 subscribers, Drew, tell the people what they can get.
So when we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway then. So keep an eye out once we hit that because we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. But you can win a $20 gift card for Amazon. Last time what we did was we just took all the subscribers and randomized them. YouTube's algorithm with the way they do subscribers is a little bit different. So what we would do is once we hit 100, we're going to let you know when that is so that you can put your name in a comment or something, or we'll figure it out. But keep an eye out for when we do hit that 100 subscriber mark.
Yes, so subscribe to YouTube. Thank you.
Tell your friends, tell your family. If they don't like wrestling podcasts, tell them that we're a political podcast. And then once they get here, they're used to disappointment anyways. They're going to stick around.
Hey, if anything else, we're a gaming podcast. We are.
We're also a food podcast.
Right. And ever since COVID's been around, we haven't been talking about going to lackluster restaurants or having bad experiences with horrible baristas and whatnot. So, there's that.
Yeah, and I'm really pissed off about that. I kind of miss doing that.
Yeah.
Well, we can always talk about our shitty takeout options.
Yeah. I will big up a place, though, locally. There's a place called This Little Pig. Phenomenal.
Not to be confused with Whistling Pig, right?
I don't know what the hell that is. I have no idea what that is, sir.
Well, look them up because they do exist. Last time I checked, anyway. I've never been.
Go to eat. Talk about last time I checked.
Well, first of all, I've never been, so I don't even know why I'm revving them. But I just want you to know they existed at one time.
Okay, they won't exist over here. I don't know what kind of wizardry you trying to get me wrapped up in. But yeah, barbecue spot. I don't know if it's a barbecue spot. We got barbecue food. Oh my god, chicken! I hate chicken breasts. That's my worst piece on the plate because it's the less tender of all the different parts. This was something serious.
You don't like chicken breast?
No.
Isn't that odd?
That is crazy.
I'm a thigh guy.
Well, yeah, you do like Nia Jax.
Correction. You
Matt, could you please stop smoking a lie? Why try out of fly? I'm a thigh guy.
So yeah. I highly recommend that place. Even the sides were good. So if you're ever in the area, go look them up, hit them up. Free promo, free pub. They're really good. So little something I wanted to bring up after our housekeeping. We have a holiday coming up next Friday. We are not going to be on the air.
Well, not this Friday. Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Don't scare the late Christmas shoppers.
We want to say, too, R.I.P., speaking of next Friday, to Debo. Damn, man. Tiny. Love doing that. Love doing Dark Knight.
Hey, they don't know him as that. We got to
call Debo on a wrestling podcast and not Zeus.
Right. We got to call about what they know him as, man. Zeus.
Damn, can I get to the climax? You got to build it up.
Shit, that's what your wife says.
How long you been holding on to that one, man? Leave it through. We are trying to hold a memoriam for someone, and this motherfucker just doesn't know when to quit. Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
Listen, man, I'm just waiting on the Rick Bogner shot because I know it's coming.
Yo, listen, to prepare for this episode, I listened to some stuff yesterday from us. Not gonna lie, I knew today was gonna be one of them ones. Not even 10 minutes in, and here we go. Yes. So yes, you more, or at least our listeners, are niche type of people know him as Zeus. So yeah, big loss in the entertainment community for what the past 30 some odd years, 31, 32. We've been blessed with the characters that he's been bringing to life, big and little, as far as the screens that you're watching them on. So just, man, huge loss. Big ups to him, and damn, just wanted to talk about that. Any thoughts, gentlemen, before we move on?
I mean, people watch that No Holds Barred movie, you know, and when that movie came out and see him going against Hogan, for some reason I thought that he was gonna be like a mainstay in WWE.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I just did.
he had the stature for it, and definitely could pull off a character.
Well, the fact is, they actually planned on making him a mainstay, but then they've realized he can't wrestle worth the shit. So that's why it didn't last. Great actor though.
Yeah.
Much better than Rick Wagner, but still.
God bless the dead, man. Drew.
Yes.
I need to know, not to put anybody's business out here, but you have a special person to buy Christmas gifts for. Have you started yet? Are you midway? Are you saying I'm online only? What are you doing here?
He's a last minute Larry for sure.
So I get paid bi-weekly, so I'm on the last paycheck before Christmas. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like halfway, but I'm also panicking.
Damn. Swerve, you got folks out here. You making their holiday bright and cheery. How is shopping going for you, if you even started?
Well, I have not, but I don't think for the things that I'm gonna have to get people is not. There's no. It's not a PS5, so no one's gonna try to shoot me at the light for it, or I don't have to worry about an online bot taking it. So I think these items will be there.
Yeah. PS5. I mean, those went up today at Best Buy, Walmart. People seem still can't get one. All my friends are hitting me like, "Let me know you hear something, man. What's going on? How come it's taking so long?" I just want to say, I did not have a hard process with getting one. It was fairly easy. I lucked up because I've seen people get the oh dear message and then get turned away by the white screen of death, and Best Buy's been locking people out. I just am grateful that didn't happen to me. But if you're trying to get a PS5 now, good luck. Don't kill your fellow man for one. Don't treat it like you're Arnold Schwarzenegger in bad Christmas movies. Fighting the next man.
And don't pay $1,200 for one.
Right.
Don't pay a penny over
that motherfucker's gonna be like $120.
Right.
Don't pay a penny over retail. Let them joints sit in the warehouse so they gotta just live with it and let their credit go bad. Don't buy a damn single one of them.
Oh boy, speaking of Christmas, here comes my wife with some gifts. Hello. All I hear is bags. That's what's for me.
Is any of them Birkin?
What the hell am I going to do with a Birkin bag, man?
For her.
Oh, come on, man. Listen, man. She ain't no hot girl, man.
Now, I also did want to point out that there are scams going on with the coronavirus vaccine, where people are reaching out to people online, usually elderly, and saying, if you send us money, we'll mail you a vaccine. Folks, don't fall for it. It's Christmas time. You know that there's scams out there. If you're wondering which of your family members to look out for, go on Facebook right now and look for the ones who are saying, share this post for Jesus, ignore for the devil. Those are the motherfuckers you got to warn about this.
So how much were they asking online for the vaccine?
Who knows? I mean, usually the Nigerian princes were asking for $500, so I'd say between $300 and $500.
Hey, I saw somebody on Facebook got prepositioned to say, "Hey, I'll give you some money. Just give me a cash app, and all you got to do is eat my ass."
What the fuck?
You just went somewhere else with that one. That's a whole other side of Twitter.
That's the dark pages right there.
I thought that would get a big pop, and it didn't. Oh man. But yeah, that did happen to somebody. Grotesque is what I call it. So yes, don't get fooled. My Christmas shopping is going very, very horrible. I'm ready for it to be over with. I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know when my packages are arriving due to the coronavirus. Everything's been delayed. So if you're somebody who's like me, who bought stuff and couldn't find it in stores and had it shipped, please say a prayer for me, and I'll say a prayer for you, because it's scary times out here.
So you have your things ordered, but you just don't know where they're coming. That's your only fear.
There's one more thing I might get, depending on how she acts. Might. But then in the back of my mind is like, she did give me the PlayStation and an Xbox. But then I don't want to get that misconstrued with the fact that she puts a post up that says he got the game because I got the name.
Nope, it did not say because.
Oh, excuse me?
Those were just two separate events. They weren't related.
If she really loved you, she'd get you that Stadia.
Oh.
Right now. Put pause on this. I'm about to come see you, dog.
Yo, if she got you Stadia, she's taking her name back.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Cyberpunk runs best on Stadia. You ain't heard?
Oh my!
Nothing runs best on Stadia.
So what you're telling me is I still haven't heard one piece of good news about Cyberpunk.
Oh, that fucking game. Have you seen the glitches in that game?
I have not.
Nothing is better than when you're playing a game and your dick starts clipping outside your pants. That is the best.
Dude, some of the people, like the textures before they load, it looks like an N64 game.
What?
Looks like fucking GoldenEye.
Wow.
It's so bad that actually CD Projekt Red, the studio that made it, actually had to put out an apology saying, listen, if you want your money back, we will refund you. But we are working on patching it. We're sorry. Basically stating that they did not pay attention to this current gen at all when they were making the game. It's all about next gen, and they just put this out probably just to get some fourth quarter numbers in.
But this is the next gen game hasn't even been released yet, has it?
Exactly. They're still working on it, but they just put something out now so that they can get some income coming in. Like, hey, buy it now, and then once next gen comes out, we'll upgrade you for free, but we just need something to come in now for that fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You know how those investors be.
It's really shitty that it's like this, but I mean, I have seen the way that they do treat their customers. It's a lot better than EA. I imagine that they'll probably be giving away some kind of a DLC to like make good. I imagine that they're going to try their best to make good on this and not just be like, oh, sorry, our bad.
What makes it so funny is that game was advertised, or I should say, a trailer was revealed before the PS4 and Xbox was out.
Yeah, it's been 7 years in the making.
So we're talking about when the 360 was out, they showed that trailer. It ain't even running on the the system that came out after that ain't even running that well in there.
I mean,
You know what though? The hype train was so high on that game,
yep.
it had no chance of living up to it.
Well, what was that?
Okay.
The series, I mean, the 1X and the 1S when they dropped, well, when the 1X dropped, that was that. Oh God, what is that called? That we was watching.
E3.
E3. It was at E3, and that was like one of the big like drops for it. And it was like, all right, gamers, get ready because when you get your new console, Cyberpunk is gonna be out. Then it was like, oh wait a minute, it's not. And then it's like, okay, we're gonna hold off again, and then we're gonna hold off again, and then next gen. Now it's current gen, and the game's still not ready, but you put it out because of the crowd reaction. You succumb to pressure for a game that should have been, instead of released, it should have been worked on some more, i.e. Halo, which I saw the other day. They're talking about fall 2021.
Yeah.
Listen, I won't say that it couldn't have lived up to the hype because Grand Theft Auto takes their sweet time before they release the trailer.
Yeah.
So they could have definitely did it. And just
But here's the thing about Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, they'll take their sweet time making a game, but when they release a trailer, the game's usually pretty close behind it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red could have done the same thing. Nobody told them to rush,
I mean, their first trailer came out 7 fucking years ago. So it's building and building, and then their big thing is you can customize like crazy, and Keanu Reeves is in the game. And
Well,
it's
think about it. It's going to be the same length of time, if not longer, for Grand Theft Auto 6. But no one's on their backs about it.
You know what's really crazy? The PS4 is the only PlayStation to not have a new Grand Theft Auto game on it. How crazy is that?
Well, they add stuff to it.
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling that the Grand Theft Auto 5 has just been alive so long.
Grand
And
Theft Auto
it's still
5
got a
had
player base.
3 systems.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other way around.
You got who's a character that's on Grand Theft today that was released?
What's that?
Did you guys see the character who is now on Grand Theft Auto?
No.
Dr. Dre.
Why?
Oh, yeah. No.
You know what, Drew? I don't know, but he's on the game. I saw a video, and he's on there. His voice, his likeness, yeah, he's on there.
So let me ask you this: is he playing a character from The Wash? Because if he is, I'm buying it.
No, this is definitely Guilty Conscience Dre. Black jeans, black shirt. He's there talking with Jimmy IV. If you know who Jimmy IV is, then you know exactly who I'm talking about when you see him. But yeah, we're right now in the gaming community. Next Gen Madden has been, oh God, I don't even get started with that. By the way, not me pressing buttons, Drew. So don't say shit to me.
So let me ask: is it good or bad?
It has its ups and there are some downs.
How's franchise mode?
Franchise mode is legit the same. Nothing has changed except they finally, which is also encouraging, where you can see what player played for what team, and then you can see the playoff bracket. That's about it. Nothing else besides that, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You have it on both, right?
I do. I'm in Madden League in the PlayStation, and my regular Xbox. I bought the game for the 1S, so it was a free upgrade.
Double dipping over there, huh?
Listen, I'm about ready to double dip on Black Ops because I know so many people who play on Sony. And I get the cross-platform, but damn, it's kind of like a hassle to get their name and then have them join in. And
It most certainly is because I got a couple of names I still ain't add. Cause I was like, bro, I just wait till I get it on there.
How is 2K on next gen?
2K is 2K. This has been real good. 2K. And you know what? This is mid-gen release. You can how they did it. You can say even though it was next gen, but this isn't even them working from the ground up on the next calendar year's game. This is, hey, we're gonna put a current gen out, and then we're gonna work on the next gen as well. But next year is going to be next year is going to be amazing.
So this year's wasn't that great, you said, or
No, this year's next gen was pretty good.
how is that? They said that they like combined my league and my GM, correct?
Uh,
Like a my NBA or something.
it is my NBA. That's what I play.
How
Look,
is that?
I love it.
It's good.
It's amazing.
So it's like my league, but they have the storylines.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
I love it
So,
a lot.
Mac, I'm gonna ask you an important question as a, I'll say, reinvented dual console owner. Where is your what is your analog stick preference now that you had enough time with both?
Xbox.
Hmm.
And let me rant a little bit. I know when I first came on and talked about it, probably was a little hype train, not gonna lie. But about a month in to sit with these systems and PS5, what the fuck? I was ready to give PS5 the edge in the console wars, which is becoming a thing of the past. But over the past couple of days, I decided to pull back a little bit. So 51.49. Tomorrow it could be Xbox with 51. Friday it could be PlayStation with 51. I don't know who's got the edge, but it's a toss up. And I think the margin has gotten lesser and lesser in my mind because Sony, you had the chance to be really great in the controller category, but you failed. And you failed miserably. And you failed miserably in the battery category. Holy shit.
So it
Yeah.
is.
This, I don't know of a controller that limits the amount of time like this controller does. It is awful. You get, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours max before you get the notification on the top right hand of your screen. Max.
And that's where everything going. Dual sense, all that stuff, right?
But and people are like, oh, if you dim the lighting on the controller, it'll help immensely. And someone's like, yeah, no, it helps, but not like that. Another 30 minutes maybe. But yo, not good. They need to come out with another controller, maybe make it like the Elite or something like that, where it is like 60% improved battery power. And then it still wouldn't be as good as Xboxes because, I prefer batteries versus whatever chip you got inside a controller to control its power uh, output. But that's probably the worst thing about the PlayStation. The best and the worst thing is the controller. The haptics, you should have known all this extra shit you're putting on there was going to increase the battery life. So why not put a bigger battery in there?
It's to encourage you to get a second one.
Yeah, I don't think so. Another $70 to flip flop controllers? No way. And then you could make the USB Type C cord a little longer. Instead, when I make a big play and I forget I'm connected, I don't want to yank my system off the stand. I'll talk about that.
Well, you can get a different. You don't have to use their cord.
I'm all about the self proprietary stuff though, because I've seen where it's been, hey, let's go to Amazon and get the Apple cord, and then the Apple cord doesn't work as well as the Apple cord should work because it's not from them. So I've been kind of staying away from that type of mentality. I don't want to keep paying Apple or PlayStation prices for things that they should already have fixed from the get-go. If that makes sense. Give me an 8-foot cord. That's all I'm asking for.
You saying buy once, cry once, huh?
Come on, man. That's all I'm saying. Right now, I don't know. I've been playing PlayStation like the past 4 days, though. I'm not gonna lie. But damn, Sony, get it together. Get it together. All right. Let's move on to what we all are here for. Wrestling. Or sports entertainment, excuse me. Drew.
Yes.
AEW. Now, before you go into it, I, like an idiot, watched Impact last week.
Oh, yeah, we need that. We need that Impact update.
Now, where did you watch it?
At home.
No, I mean, like, was it on
on
Access TV or on Twitch?
Well,
C-SPAN.
So I fell asleep, right? C-SPAN? Come on, man. So I fell asleep, and I was like, oh, crap, I missed, because I was watching something else. I forgot. But I was like, oh, crap, I wanted to see Omega on Access or on Impact so I can have some material. I kind of want to see what they're doing with this belt. I'm interested. So I pulled it up on YouTube. And instead of me fast forwarding to the part or just looking for a clip from the interview, I started from the beginning of the actual show. I couldn't tell you any names.
There you go. One a day.
Scott Steiner's here.
Never fails.
I watched the entire show. And let me just say this, not impressed at all. Not just with the product, but with the waste of time that it was watching this interview with those three Jamoke.
Did you go in there with an open mind? Because I feel like you didn't.
Oh, no, I did. I did. But it was just it was too much Josh Matthews for me. He talks before the match, after the match. He keeps teasing the Kenny Omega promo. And I was like, when are we going to get to it? And it finally happened at the end of the night, and they just sat there. And it felt like they just put a JVC on top of a chair, and they just talked.
I like how you're shocked about that. Like, you know that if they have Kenny and he's bringing the ratings, they want you to watch the whole fucking show.
But the problem is, bro, I didn't even watch it live, so I don't even count. I didn't even watch it from their channel on YouTube.
Well, you know what's funny? If you go to their YouTube and you look, you could definitely see what he does to the numbers. Because all their YouTube videos are in the, tens of thousands. So it's like, maybe they'll get like 30,000 or 20,000 on one video, 30,000 on another. Kenny's video is, I think, right now at 400K for just his interview.
Jeez.
So that goes to show what he does for their numbers. Now, Impact is split between Access TV and Twitch. So they also stream live on Twitch. And let me tell you, would you like to know what the most vile place on earth is?
Where? A Twitch live stream?
A Twitch chat room.
Oh.
During an Impact /AW multi-show. Holy shit. It's basically AEW fans shitting on the product, Impact fans shitting on Kenny Omega, and then eventually they'll show a commercial of Scott Steiner's math promo, and every single person there has to try and quote it. It is the worst fucking thing I've ever been in. It is just the fucking worst. If you don't get out soon enough, you might end up in a bathtub with pills.
Well, they don't agree with you. You know why?
Why?
I think why? Because guess what Kenny Omega's doing tonight?
Is he back on there?
He's back on.
Gotta get them numbers up.
He's back on.
But hey, you know what? He draws a rating.
Yeah, but what's the owner of what's his name?
He's not the owner, but he's like the head booker right now, Don Callis.
Yes, the former manager of the Acolytes. If he's not
Truth Commission.
Yeah. Well, okay. I just wanted to make sure people understood who they were. If he's not parlaying this into some type of, ownership deal, then I don't know, or some type of merger. I don't know why Omega keeps popping over.
Well, did you see Tony Khan's part on Impact last week?
I did not.
So Tony Khan was kind of teasing that he was going to try and buy the company. But that was just a tease. I think that they're just playing around with that. At the same time, who knows? I think that this is them trying to work out some kind of a working agreement. I know that there's a lot of wrestlers who have expressed interest in wrestling Kenny Omega from Impact. That would definitely help their ratings out big time. But if it's just going to be him talking again, I don't know if the numbers are going to be as high as they were last week.
Do you think that this could be an opportunity for Impact to maybe say to Khan and the decision makers over at AEW, hey, why don't you bring Kenny over? We feel like we have a guy who can at least stir up some talk as far as beating Omega, and this is why you should bring him over here and do a cross promotion type of thing, or not at all?
Well, it would depend. It would really depend on it's the wrestling business, so Tony Khan has to sit back and go, that's great. What are you going to do for me, though?
Right.
Like, yeah, you got somebody who can really stir up interest wrestling Omega, but I'm going to take a guess and say you want him to wrestle on Impact TV. So what are we going to get out of this? Like, how does this benefit us? And that's something, a lot of people shit on Vince and the WWE. But, I mean, anytime they had dealings with AAA or Japan, those promotions always try to kind of swindle Vince. You could bring The Undertaker over. I don't know who he is, but you could bring him over and we could see if we get somebody to work with them. And Vince is always like, no, how's that going to help us? Like, why would we bring our stars over to you? You want to work something out, let's work something out. We're not just going to help you out. So, yeah, I mean, that's to his credit. I understand why Vince has never done anything like that. It has to be noted that in AAA, which is Mexico's premier wrestling organization, Kenny is their world champion right now. So he's actually a double champion.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want this to make sense.
Me too.
I don't want this to be something that's flailing in the wind.
I also don't want this to be just Kenny's helping out his friend Don Callis, and then AEW ends up not getting really anything in return. You have to look out for your own company at the same time. I get that you're friends with people in Impact. I get that you want to, get stuff moving there, and maybe hey, sorry that we took some of your talent. Let's help you out a little bit. At the same time, you are talking a lot of shit to WWE, and they think you're in a war with them. You need to keep your eye on the ball and focused. If not, you're going to be in the position Impact is right now. Because they talked a lot of shit when they were young. And look at them now.
Well, hey, if that's the case, maybe Triple H and company will buy that pissant company.
Well, what could they get out of it? I mean, I don't watch Impact at all. So, is there any possible dream matches that you can create from there?
So Impact does have a lot of talented women wrestlers. They've also got a few tag teams that are really good. Gallows and Anderson are over there too. Them being former Bullet Club members could do something with the Young Bucks, who they have history with. They could do something with Kenny, who they have history with. They've got good young talent over there that a lot of people just have not seen because they're on Access TV and Twitch. But if they can do some kind of a working arrangement, it could definitely help them as well to maybe do something on AEW's TV and get their wrestlers a shine.
Well, I don't
So
know.
nobody that's really must see then is what you're saying.
Hey, they got RVD over there.
Hey, I watch and there was no one must see.
The problem with that, you want to know what the biggest problem with Impact is? They get in their own way. Like you said, Josh Matthews is everywhere. He doesn't need to be. Show the wrestlers, show wrestling matches. We don't need to see Josh Matthews constantly.
I think they're using him for his clout because he came from WWE.
No, that's you know what? You joke. That's 100% the reason he has that fucking job.
That's sad.
I mean, when Dixie Carter was running the place over there, you have no idea how many people in that company had positions they had no business being in just because they worked at WWE. I mean, a guy who ran as a coffee boy was the fucking producer. Like, come on.
I'm just saying.
You let the people from Tough Enough live in your house. Produce our shows.
I could be like a failing wrestler who you all saw on Monday Night Raw get dropped off in some shit town, and they've got some wrestling promotion there, and all of a sudden the top booker was me to be the champion. Yep. Sounds like it's happening.
I mean, that is how those indies, like those really small indies, that's how they get people to show up. Is you'll have, a list of a bunch of, your usual wrestlers who nobody knows, and then in the main event you have Devon Dudley. Like, that's what you have.
Is that why I saw Buff Bagwell wrestling in Ames parking lots?
That is precisely the reason, is because as much as he's not a megastar, all three of us know who Buff Bagwell is. So if you're walking out of a flea market and you see a flyer for a wrestling show and Buff Bagwell's at the top and you're like, I know who he is, you might go to see it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then what they're really hoping is that you show up before the main event and you see some of the wrestling and maybe some of it looks good to you and you go, huh? I could watch this again. These guys are pretty good. That's what they're really hoping for by having that one guy who actually has a name on the card.
Hey, gotta sell tickets.
Same thing we hoping for, man. So subscribe if you're listening.
Exactly.
One of us has the name, right?
All right, Drew, let's go ahead and get to AEW.
All right, so AEW starts out with the Young Bucks Tag Team Champions coming out. And they are showing off AEW's new sponsor. Did you see who their new sponsor is?
Tough Acting to Acting.
No, their new sponsor is IHOP, showing off that ham and egg breakfast. because Hybrid 2.
For it. Oh my god. Oh. Yo, listen. When he said IHOP, I was like, oh, okay. Damn.
Team Hybrid 2 is just chilling outside the ring. Number one contenders for the tag team titles, just chilling outside the ring to start the show. Matt and Nick Jackson come out, get Pyro, get music. I wonder who's going over. It is the Young Bucks. They win this match. After the match, there's like some interference. Afterwards, SCU comes out to make the save. I'm not going to lie. Wasn't for me. Wasn't a great match in my opinion. I know somebody's going to get pissed off at me online. That's just how I feel. Sorry. Next up we have Sting. Here we fucking go, folks. So, Sting comes out. It's snowing. I thought that was just for the pay-per-view, but it's not. That's his entrance now. I'm sorry. First, Cody Rhodes and Aaron Anderson come out first. Because, Cody needs to be in this spot. And then Sting comes out. And then, Sting looks all, like, mysterious and quiet. And then he takes the microphone and starts talking. And it just does not match the mystique at all. He's all excited. He's like, "Oh, Tony, I'm so happy that I got to hear you say it's Sting again on Turner. Can you say it again for me? Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Oh, Cody, it's been a long time. I'm so glad to be in the ring with you." It's just like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, "Oh, Darby Allin's up there, and he reminds me of me." And man, I did not like this promo at all.
Yeah.
Did you see any of it?
I watched this. He's like, I want to hear you say it. And he hugs him. Like, get the hell out of here, dude.
Yeah, I want to hear you say it. Say it. It's Sting. I want to hear you say it. It's just like, dude, what the fuck?
The equivalent was he was asking Tony whose pussy is this.
Can you imagine if, like, The Undertaker showed up to Raw and he did all his Undertaker entrance and then he's just like, "Oh, Michael Cole, I'm so glad to hear you. Say it again. Say it to Phenom. Oh, man, it's so great." You gotta see me and my wife on TikTok. It's fucking awesome.
Yo, Tony looked like a fanboy in the ring, yo. He looks so out of place.
Sting looked like NWO fake Sting.
Right.
Like, when's the real Sting gonna show up? Like, come on.
The man was smiling from the farthest west point of Georgia to the east point of Georgia. He thought he was back at TNT on WCW. This fucking Shivani guy.
You know what he reminded me of? He struck me as somebody who was like, "Okay, Sting, you got 10 seconds till you go out. Okay, let me just get ready. Let me just. Whoa, let's go! Fuck yeah!"
No, Drew, you got it all wrong. I'll tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me of the recipient of Make-A-Wish Foundation. And he's got one wish before he dies. And he wants to say, "It's Sting! It's Sting!" And he got his chance to do it. And he just looked so gosh darn happy that he had a chance to say it. Because he's in the ring. He hugs him. He's smiling from ear to ear. And then Sting tells him, "All right, you can go now." He looks like a fanboy.
He just seemed like he did like a full line of coke before going out. Because he was just so fucking amped up. And it's like, dude, this just, like I tried to defend this shit last week. I tried. I don't want to fucking see him anymore.
Well, you got 3 years of it, my man.
Like, I kind of hope he gets Me Too'd. Like, is that bad? Like, just go the fuck away. But then again, I mean, Sammy Guevara kind of got Me Too'd, and he's still there. So, they might just sit there and go, well, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't gotta get beat too. You just gotta know when to sit down, man. People just don't know when to stay, when to just go home.
How about Nia Jax just come out out of nowhere in room?
Nancy Kerrigan him. She's just
Exactly.
waiting by the fucking entranceway with a pipe.
Right. What's next?
Next up, we have FTR taking on the team of Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr.
Wow, BPJ?
Yeah,
I didn't know he was there.
mullet and all. This match was a better tag team match than the previous one. FTR did get the win. Before the match, FTR was doing their little interview where they're like kind of like dejected themselves for losing the tag belts, and they're all like, "No, it's my fault. No, it's my fault." And then the manager's like, "No, I wasn't there. We're a team. It has to be the three of us, or else we're not good." It's just like, bro, what the fuck are we, Captain Planet? Just fucking go out there and win a match. Like, oh, we can't summon Captain Planet. Fucking Tully's not here. Like, come on. But it was a decent match. Next up, we have. Just take a look. We have Dustin Rhodes taking on 10 from the Dark Order. Dustin Rhodes gets the win here. And then afterwards, the Dark Order offers Dustin the chance to join them. This is, of course, after he had the big feud with them. So obviously, they're offering him a chance to join and take the number 7, which, of course, is a mockery of WCW. When he signed with them, they had him be the character 7, which was like a child predator that lasted all of one day before they realized, yeah, this is fucking stupid. He, of course, slapped him and turned it down.
Please, why bring this back?
Just like, hey, WCW, remember that? That was a thing. Yeah, we know it's still here. Inner Circle's in the ring. Once again, Jericho stated that if they can't come together, they're out for good. Sammy and MJF were arguing. At this point, Ortiz had stated that, basically MJF and Wardlow are good for the team. Sammy has to shake his hand and just make peace. So Guevara makes the peace, but says, listen, if MJF causes any more trouble, if he does one more thing, he's out. Sammy says, I trust Chris, but if he does one more fuck up, he, being Sammy, is leaving Dark Order. Not Dark Order, Inner Circle, because he can't be in the same group as MJF if he's not going to keep on fucking shit up. After that, they tried to figure out what the problem with Wardlow and Jake Hager was, and basically it just comes down to he's looking at me, no, he's looking at me. So they agreed to stop looking at each other. And then Inner Circle just did their little circle jerk thing and agreed to stay together. Very anticlimactic. Next up, we have Eddie Kingston, the Butcher and the Blade, taking on Lucha Bros and not Pac, Lance Archer.
Oh boy.
During this match, now mind you, I don't know why Pac wasn't here. I don't know if it's something with a visa issue again, but yeah, Lance Archer is taking his place here. During the match, they put Pentagon through a table, and Pentagon acted like he was injured and had to be carried away. This is going to write him off of TV because of the fact that he did suffer a legitimate leg injury during training. So this is like their way of just writing him off TV so he can recover.
Did they say how long?
They did not say how long, but as of right now, he's going to be off TV for a little bit. This allowed Butcher, Blade, and Eddie Kingston to take advantage of a 3-on-2 situation, and Kingston got the pin on Phoenix. Once the bout was over, Lance Archer destroyed everyone. The match only had like 1 week of build-up. Like Kingston and Archer only had like 1 week of acting like they were rivals. But they sold it well enough to actually make you believe that they don't like each other.
Is Kingston
Pentagon leaving early allowed, the actual win to make sense. It is going to be interesting to see where these two go, but yeah, it was decent storytelling.
Is Kingston becoming like the customary heel just to be a heel?
I don't even know if he's actually a heel. At that point, he looked more like the anti-hero, because he was with the Lucha Brothers, who were with Pac. Now they're feuding with this faction, Eddie Kingston's faction, who is definitely a heel faction. So I don't know if this is heel versus heel, or if Lance Archer's a face, or what's going on. But these two are definitely feuding, and I'm not really sure who's supposed to be the babyface on
it. I mean, we've had that conversation before where it was like, well, you can't get away with face versus face or heel versus heel. So, I mean, I don't want to call it confused booking, but is it a good, or, I mean, is it a bad thing what they're doing right now or how they're placing this?
Well, I think that this was, for the record. Well, the story in this match was really just to get Pentagon off TV, I think. So they did a good job with that. And then they also continued this little feud that these two are having, which I don't know how far it's going to go, but they are selling it well. So once again, I don't know how far it's going to go, but from the look of things now, it looks like it's at a decent pace.
Okay.
Now, I did want to take this time out to remind our fans of some things, our viewers of some things. Christmas is coming up, so I want you to get some supplies. Make sure you get...
Christmas time is here.
There are some supplies that you need to get probably this week. Maybe not this week, but pretty soon before it sells out. You want to get yourself wrapping paper so you can wrap your gifts. You got to get a Yule log so that, it's festive. You got to get some eggnog so that you can, serve up the drinks. And you got to get
eggnog and Henny. Eggnog and Henny.
And Henny, yes. But also a honey roast ham. Now, when you mix that, you get your ham and your eggs. Part 2 this week.
Come on.
Abaddon taking on Tisha Price.
Tisha Price?
Exactly.
Sounds like
so. I must know her.
I know what you're thinking, but she's whiter than me.
Oh, man. I thought you could see her down at gyms, like at 1 a.m, ordering a Diablo.
So, this is a squash match. Abaddon wrecks her shit. After the match, she continues a beatdown. Hikaru Shida came down with the kendo stick and just walloped her in the head. Laid her out. Helped out the ham and egger so she can get her home for Christmas dinner. Abaddon did her best Undertaker sit-up, which caused the champion and the ham and eggs to flee terrified.
Sheeta's the one that looks like the male Vampiro, right? I mean, the female Vampiro, right?
No, the Abaddon looks fucking terrifying. Have you seen her?
Yeah, does she has face paint and everything, like the red face paint or something?
She has like the weird face paint, and then she has like the different colored contacts.
Yeah.
She looks terrifying, and Sheeta's scared face is my favorite scared face in wrestling. She sells that shit. So I think she's legitimately terrified of Abaddon. like as a fucking person.
She looks like a poisonous frog almost, or something.
Yeah, like she is just like, yo, fuck that shit, and she just got the fuck out of there.
So she's the actual female Midian. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty
She's a
much.
female fiend.
You know Tisha. You know she bad with drugs, man. Leave her alone.
I didn't mean that fiend.
Now we get to our first sit-down interview.
Oh God.
And this is with Tony Schiavone is sitting down with Brandy Rhodes and Shaq. So he introduces Brandy Rhodes as the chief operating officer, or whatever her title is. And then, chief branding officer. Who knows? And then Shaq, he introduced him as, this many time All-Star, 3-time NBA champion, whatever, however many, I don't know. Host of Inside the NBA, listing off his accolades. And Brandy's just like, really? Like, you list off all his accolades. I get chief branding officer. Okay. So basically they sit down, they're like, so, Shaq, what's your intentions with wrestling Cody? And he's like, oh, that's just in good, clean fun. I don't really, think I'm going to be wrestling Cody. But then he's like, yo, Brandy, though, you might want to look out, for my girl, especially with your arm in the sling. Because the last time you got your ass beat. And she's like, really? You're just going to like sit there and talk shit like that? He's like, yeah. So she does the water in the face gag and storms off. And Shaq sells it like a champ. He sells it like the Three Stooges. Like, as soon as he gets the water in the face, he's just like, ho, ho. Like, perfect Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal,
that got all those Shaqolades.
He will sell udders to a cow. I
really
mean,
will.
this dude is a jack of all trades. He loves it. He wants to be in everything. He wants to be with everybody. So I'm not surprised that he would be good in a role like this. Nor would I be surprised in him wanting to come back and do more.
What exactly is this role, though?
Whatever he asks
he
you to do.
says he's not going to be wrestling Cody. I don't know if he's going to be maybe like in her corner. This other girl who's feuding with Brandy. I don't know if this is going to cause him to be like, no, bring your husband out. But he's there. Especially with them being on TNT, it's really easy to get him.
This is more so Cody's idea than it is Shaq's. I will say that.
I think Cody gonna pull out the ace in the hole if Shaq not careful.
What ace is that?
Aaron Carter, baby.
Oh my God.
That's how I beat Shaq.
For more episodes, make sure you hit us up on SoundCloud. If you don't want to hear Swerve, I don't know what you will have to do.
Listen, if you don't want to hear me, just subscribe. I'll go away.
You know what? We got to start up a Patreon where we do the show without Swerve. He's just muted.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But we
$5 a month, you don't have to hear Swerve? Fuck. You don't have to hear me.
I mean, I know you were joking, but come on, man. That take was just as bad as the take you said when you said Pac was top 5? Come on, man.
No, he didn't say Pac was his top 5. He said Neville. There's a big difference.
Oh, true. My bad. You are so right.
I don't see Pac in a cape. Now we have Kenny Omega's promo. Comes out, cuts a similar promo to what he did on Impact. But here, okay, so did you see any of this promo that he did on AEW?
I did not see the promo he did on Dynamite, no.
So here's the thing that I do really like. He's a heel, but he's not a heel where it's like, oh, he's making outlandish bullshit remarks like, oh, I'm the greatest wrestler in the world, and oh, I'm I walk on water. I beat Hulk Hogan. He's not saying shit like this. The things he's saying are heelish because he's saying them in a very egotistical tone, but he's not wrong. Everything he's saying is true. It's just the way he's saying it. When he says, I couldn't steal this belt from Jon Moxley because I made it. It's mine. I literally made this. AEW is here because of me. Because my match with Chris Jericho at New Japan caused Tony Khan to get back into wrestling and back into loving wrestling, which even Tony Khan has said in the past. That's true. So there would be no AEW without Kenny Omega. But, of course, he's leaving out everything else that everyone else has done. It's just what I've done. So it's egotistical. Don Callis is doing his best. Don Callis. Together, they are really good. Very egotistical, very self-centered, very cocky. But at the same time, they're not wrong. They're telling the truth. He does have all these accolades. He is ratings. He did bring Impact a very good number. He brought Dynamite a very good number. These are not wrong statements, but the way he's saying it is heelish, and that's what I really like. You don't have to be an over-the-top heel where you're like, I'm going to kill your whole family. You could literally just be the type of heel who says, I'm fucking great. Here's the reason I'm great. And you just sit there at home going, yeah, you're right, but why do you guys say it like that? Like, that's kind of a dick to say it like that. I really like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the more, and no one would disagree with this, but one of the more pure wrestlers that there is, with not even just his in-ring work, but how he handles promos. He studies it.
He's a better bad guy than a good guy. When AEW first started, of course, they want him to be the face of the company, and that means a baby face. Well, I don't think that he does promos as a baby face very good. I think he cuts excellent heel promos, and this is proof. I can't wait to see where this goes, but I think that they made the right decision having him as champion, because now you have a guy who's not WWE, who was never in WWE as far as main roster goes, who's your champion. So you can't sit there and go, well, they only have AEW or WWE guys win their belt. Well, that's not true anymore. You also can't sit there and go, well, they're only successful when a WWE guy has that belt. That's also not true. So it was a smart move on their part to kind of push those kind of blemishes away. Obviously, they're still there with a lot of their roster, but at least the top guy is one of theirs.
Right.
Well, the jury's still out on that success so far. We don't know yet.
Well, I will have the dirt as far as numbers go.
Why is it that in 2020 you can't have your most over superstar be a heel?
I think that as a company starting out, as a company that was in its first year, I don't think they wanted to have him as a heel right away, because they already had Chris Jericho as a heel. And the idea was for him to feud with Chris Jericho. So obviously you're not going to have heel versus heel for an infant company, because then nobody has anyone to cheer for and they kind of lose interest. So that, I think, is why he was the babyface. Also, the Elite versus the Inner Circle was the thing that they were doing. Now that that's kind of been put away, you can move him more towards the heel. And also, I mean, he is the face of the company pretty much. So you are able to have the heel as the face of the company. The problem is, in 2020, most heels are cool heels.
Yeah.
So they're not shitbag heels that thrive on those boos. I think the last time I saw like a real shitbag heel was Edge. Remember Rated R Superstar Edge?
Yeah, he definitely was a dick.
He didn't give a fuck how many T-shirts he sold.
What about Baron Corbin?
Baron Corbin was not the fucking face of the company. Unless the face is on your ass.
He had that microphone every Monday night.
Sure did.
That motherfucker had X-Pac heat.
Ugh. All right, so is that how we're ending AEW?
No, we have one more match. The Diamond Ring match. MJF versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, boy.
This one had a lot of outside shenanigans going on. You had Inner Circle and Best Friends outside constantly getting into it. At one point, MJF grabbed Jericho's baseball bat and tried to pull in Eddie Guerrero where he'd make it look like Orange Cassidy hit him. Cassidy outsmarted him by grabbing the bat and tossing it at MJF and then laying down. The ref deciding not to call a disqualification because he didn't actually see anything. Orange Cassidy got back up and hit him with the orange punch. Almost got the win, but there was a kick out. The ref was distracted again by the outside shenanigans, which caused Miro to come in and lay out Orange Cassidy, allowing MJF to get the win and reclaim his diamond ring. So we are continuing the Miro Orange Cassidy storyline, and that is how we end Dynamite.
Nice. What do you think it means for AEW to not end with anything Kenny Omega related to main event, seeing that he's the champion with a ton of heat?
So I think what this does is this bolsters the fact, and I think that this is their way of saying this company is more than just who is the champion. You know, you look at some wrestling promotions, not just WWE, there's other wrestling promotions where all they have is the guy who has the belt. Everyone else is below him. And this is really putting away that, yeah, Kenny Omega has the belt, but we have other people on the roster. We have other storylines that we get across. And also, they wanted to end this probably on a wrestling match, not just a promo. Because let's face it, how many times you see like Raw or SmackDown and on a promo, and you're like, was that really the last segment? Was a promo? Like, God damn, I would hate to fucking be at that live show. So they wanted to probably end it on a wrestling match.
Yeah. All right.
It was definitely the best match of the night. I will say that.
I feel like it would be if it's going to stir up another feud.
All in all, though, Dynamite was not as good as previous weeks. Definitely the last couple of segments were the best. Team Taz was talking shit during the show. He's got his son with him now. So I guess that's a huge group. You got Will Hobbs, you got, Cage, you got the other guy, Ricky Starks, and then you have fucking his son looking like Mellow Ball over there with his hoodie up and his fucking fluffy hair hanging out.
Oh, Jesus.
Clearly looking like he doesn't want to be there.
So a lot of things happened last week on the other side, the WWE side. And instead of us breaking each one down, we're going to incorporate it into the upcoming TLC pay-per-view. Last pay-per-view of the year, last pay-per-view before the turn of the year, which means WrestleMania season is legit, like, around the corner. So with that being said, we got some pay-per-view action to get to. Before we do that, Drew, do you and I? Yes, I will be joining you. Do you and I want to get dirty?
Sure.
All right, let's get dirty.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All right. Did you want me to start?
Yeah, spark it off. Spark it off.
Okay. Let me just pull up my list. Okay. So let's start with some small shit. So WrestleMania 34 was 2 years ago. That was Daniel Bryan's comeback WrestleMania, where he wrestled with Shane, taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We recently found out from Kevin Owens during an interview that Daniel Bryan was not supposed to be Shane's partner originally. He had a different partner. Would you like to take a guess at who was actually supposed to be in that spot before Daniel Bryan was cleared to wrestle?
I know who it was, so I don't want to guess. Well, I don't want to say.
Swerve, how about you?
Cesaro.
It would be Vince McMahon at like 73 years old.
Oh boy.
Was supposed to wrestle with Shane, taking on those two, until Daniel Bryan got cleared to wrestle. That would have been a very different moment.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
Would have got black tank top Vince.
Oh, we would have probably gotten half sleeve sweatshirt Vince.
We would have gotten durag Vince.
All right, I'm glad we didn't get that Vince. No one needs that Vince. Nobody. CM Punk joined Renee Paquette on her show Oral Sessions. And Renee basically said, yo, Phil, what's it going to take for you to come back? What's the asking price? What's the going rate? Any guesses with what Phil said?
Well, I listened to the podcast, so I already know, so I'm not going to guess.
Oh, okay. So everything guesses?
10 mil.
Close. He said, first off, it would take a nice, a unique, and interesting storyline, first and foremost, for him to come back. He did also say, yeah, it would be nice if you just basically backed up the Brinks truck and said, we've got $100 million for you. Here, come and join us. And he said he doesn't want to play favorites as far as CM Punk going to AEW versus WWE, because obviously he's got history there. But that's what he said it'll take. A unique storyline for him to come back. And I think the man will come back for next to nothing if the storyline was so perfect and executed, in my eyes.
Yeah.
Hear that, Drew? Never say never.
Hey, he has been changing his tune a lot. He went from I'm done with wrestling completely to I watch the product every so often. I'm not really into it to being on backstage to I watch. I would probably come back if the story's right.
They all do. That's why I keep telling you, man. You can't never trust what they say. It's like when a rapper says they retire. It just doesn't happen.
Right. Remember the Black Album, Drew? My last album, ho.
It's like my neighbors being quiet upstairs. Just ain't possible.
So Vince McMahon is said to be very unhappy with the in-ring work of several of his larger wrestlers.
His plus-size wrestlers.
And apparently he has sent Mace from Retribution.
Oh, I'm about to say, wait, hold up. Harlem World.
Amos, who was AJ Styles' bodyguard. Dabo Kato, who was the guy who was always on Raw Underground. Otis. And Keith Lee to the Performance Center for additional training with Adam Pearce and Drew Gulak. Apparently, a lot of people backstage were baffled by this, especially with Keith Lee. A lot of people were kind of pissed off with Vince. A lot of people were just felt that, they're just not given good shit to do. So it's like, yeah, they're not going to be performing well. You have them in shitty spots. But apparently Vince has decided to send these guys down to the Performance Center for additional training.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean,
Well, he won't send Nia Jax. I don't get it.
Well, she's The Rock's cousin. Of course she's not going to send her down.
Nia, I would have normally defended you right there, but I'm sorry. You did it to yourself.
You played yourself.
Clearly. Little piece of dirt that I got coming up. The Rock. We all know and love, as CM Punk will call him, Dwayne. Said that he's willing to come back to fight Roman Reigns, but not until WrestleMania 2022.
What?
Is that really dirt at this point?
Do you know when 2022 is?
I sure do.
All right, so not next year, but the year after.
Yeah, I mean, because there ain't gonna be a crowd this time. I know what it means. I'm sure everybody else does.
So, you know what that means then, because we already kind of talked about it on the last episode of what your main event may look like, or probably will look like. So,
You need 80,000 screaming fans, or else no show.
yeah, I agree.
Jim Ross. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, The Rock doesn't work without any fans.
Tell
If
that
there's
to
out there who will make you get a vaccine, it is The Rock. You know what? The Rock might be the new Hulk Hogan. All right, kids, eat your vitamins. Rock. All right, kids, take your vaccines.
What they're gonna do is sell the vaccine, but you get a free ticket to WrestleMania as long as you buy.
Hey, let me ask you something though. If The Rock is the new Hulk Hogan, does that mean Dwayne Johnson has a different sized dick than The Rock?
I don't worry about that man's Johnson. So you have to ask him that.
Jim Ross seems to have alienated some of the AW talent.
Drew, why you gotta make it awkward, man?
So yeah, JR has seemed to alienate some of the AW talent in a recent comment he made about a particular spot. The spot is when somebody either hops up on the top rope or jumps over the rope, and everyone in the match is there to catch them with their hands up. JR just went off on the spot on his podcast, going, "Hey, listen, I don't fucking get it. It doesn't help anyone. It looks stupid. I don't understand why everyone in the match, especially if it's like a 6-man tag match, so you have opponents and allies catching the guy. So it's not helping anyone. It's not working. It's not, setting up the next thing. It's just a spot. And it looks shitty. Everyone does it. It looks terrible. It doesn't help anyone. Apparently, a lot of the wrestlers backstage took offense to it, especially since most of them do this spot. None of them are coming out and saying, such and such are upset with this. Anonymously, a few of them have been like, we're just doing what we're taught. This is what we're trying to do. We worked the indies for years because we weren't big enough to work in WWE, so this is the style that we wrestle. So, if you have an issue with it, maybe it's time to stop being a commentator.
Why is JR giving these people shit?
What?
So why is JR giving these people shit?
I think because he's so set in his ways. But I mean, this is the same guy who would call Mick Foley a legend for just falling off a cage. Like, at least these guys are being safe about it instead of just like, yeah, table somewhere down there.
Right. I mean, understand this is that hands up diving over the top rope is about as wrestling as a turnbuckle. He gets that, doesn't he?
I mean, and also, I think a lot of times, a lot of these wrestlers do that kind of spot just to piss off people like JR. Just to piss off those old timers. Because it's just like the wrestling business isn't that way anymore. It's a lot more, dips and dives. And for better or worse, there's a lot of times I see it, I'm just like, it fucking looks like shit. But that's wrestling nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone loves watching Lucha Libre, and that's where they get their shit from. And, there's no selling in Lucha Libre at all. It's literally just flips and dives.
Why? It is what it is.
Did you have anything else?
Yeah, I got one more piece of dirt. So, Snoop Dogg.
Oh, fuck. You took this from me.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go on. You got it.
We'll double team it. Snoop, we talked about him last week or a couple weeks ago about how him and Undertaker collaborated on some merch. And, well, AEW and Snoop have collaborated with each other. And word has it that WWE didn't like it. So what did they do?
They're pissed.
What did they do?
What's that?
I said, so what did they do?
What did WWE do?
Yeah. Allegedly.
Oh, I didn't see what they did.
Oh, they pulled his merch.
Oh, they did.
They did. So Snoop Dogg merch could not be found on WWE's website any longer.
Wow.
And a spokesperson from the WWE said, this had nothing to do with his appearance on AEW.
Well, do you see what he's going to be doing on AEW?
Isn't like some like commentating, I think?
So he's going to be doing commentary on their New Year's Bash, which is going to be like their super show on December 30th. So it's going to be a 2-night affair. He's going to be doing the second night commentary. This is after he did commentary during the Mike Tyson John Jones fight. It was John Jones. Who did Tyson fight?
It wasn't no damn John Jones.
Roy Jones.
Are you doing that on purpose? Like, I just got to know.
No. I'm terrible with first names. So Tyson Jones fight, he did commentary. They were impressed by it. It seemed like he had a lot of one-liners. He knew what he was talking about. And he wasn't too aggressively high. So they reached out and said, hey, did you want to do commentary on our fight? And of course, Snoop Dogg, who is very much like Shaquille O'Neal, will never say no to a paycheck. And agreed. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So his commentary is not going to be on the December 30th one. It's going to be actually on January 6th, which is going to be night 2. So the way that they're doing it is Wednesday, December 23rd, which is next week. They have a holiday bash, it's called, which is going to take place immediately after the Celtics-Bucks game. And then the 30th will be New Year's Smash Night 1. The 6th will be Night 2 with Snoop Dogg.
They love doing these variety shows. Any chances we see maybe they only have 2 major championships in the company, we see one of them possibly change hands?
We might. Now, mind you, they also have tag titles. They also have the women's championship. They also have other companies that they work with who have belts. They work with AAA in Mexico. They're working with Impact now. And they have said that there will be special guests during the first night as well.
I hope Snoop's appearance don't affect Sasha's title reign.
It might.
Good
Well, at least we're not getting him singing her to the ring anymore. Now, mind you, this is also because he was one of the judges on that Go Big show on TBS, which featured Cody Rhodes as a judge as well. So that might also be how they got their foot in the door with Snoop Dogg's people.
Oh, I got some dirt.
Yeah.
This is not really breaking, but happened a couple of days ago. The Big Show has a special Christmas episode on Netflix. You all should go watch.
Yeah, are you his publicist or something, bro? Why would you ever be forced to watch big shows? big shows, big show. Jeez.
And you can thank us by subscribing.
Thanks to everybody subscribing. He listen. He'd appreciate it more than you think that you would even imagine. Your heart's ache.
So I got one more piece of dirt. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm out.
Okay. So we talked about numbers in the dirt. So we'll talk about numbers right now. So Kenny Omega appeared on Impact Wrestling. And I said, hopefully they would see a boost. What do you think the percentage was of their rating increase?
For Impact?
From Impact. From the week prior to Kenny's appearance to the week that he actually appeared. What do you think the percentage was of an increase?
230.
I'm sorry, what was that?
230, something crazy.
I'm at 150.
The percentage I'm talking about, not actual numbers.
I am too.
Probably 50%.
It wasn't that. It was 60%.
Oh.
Yeah, not enough.
But that's still a pretty decent jump. This is also looking at the fact that they're split between a network that is a premium network, Access TV, and Twitch. So it's like, yeah, catch us on public service TV and you get a 60% jump. Now, for Dynamite, Dynamite in the key demographic of 18 to 49, which is the key wrestling demographic, they defeated WWE this week. Now, usually when we say they defeated WWE, we talk about them defeating NXT, and it goes hand in hand. Well, this week they defeated Monday Night Raw.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a 0.49 in that demographic compared to a 0.41. Monday Night Raw had its worst show in decades. Whereas Dynamite had its best.
Well, we're talking about yesterday?
We're talking about last week. Dynamite, not Impact, Dynamite.
Well, no, you said Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, so Monday Night Raw, let me see which Raw that was. That was not yesterday, that was the Monday Night Raw before it.
I'm trying to think what was going on, wrestling-wise. I mean, not wrestling-wise, football-wise. I can't think of anything. Why would be such a low rating? Well, I will just say this. AEW is going to put their big boy pants on.
Yeah.
If they want to be involved.
That is definitely pretty crazy. That they beat Raw in that key demo. Now, mind you, as far as total viewers overall, Raw did beat them out slightly. But as far as an advertiser point of view, they're looking at that key demographic, which is 18 to 49. So viewers 18 to 49, Dynamite had more viewers in that demographic. But Raw obviously beat them out slightly with a younger demographic, as well as people over the age of 49 who probably have never heard of Dynamite. You know, people in their 60s who are waiting for Hulk Hogan to show up.
Oh my God. All right. Moving on, since we are done with dirt, we've got a pay-per-view to talk about. So, last pay-per-view before the end of the year, it is WWE TLC. What are your expectations going into this pay-per-view? You know, match-wise.
To be quite honest, I don't even know. My expectations are kind of just to be, hey, we're going into Royal Rumble. Let's just get through this. This is limping through with a beat-up car, knowing that you're going to be getting a new car in a week, and just going, fuck it, let's just get to work in this piece of shit.
Yeah.
It'll be a C+ pay-per-view.
Speaking of pay-per-views, next episode, the third annual Jabronis. We are coming live and direct. I'm excited. Drew's excited. Swerve's excited. Are you? Hit us up on Twitter, and you will see us talk about some of the categories we got coming.
Now remember, folks, Mac here said that we are coming next episode. That's going to be in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We are not going to be here next week for the Christmas break.
Correct. We'll get to a little bit of that later. We'll tease a little bit of that. We'll even have some red carpet awards. So get tuned in, get some popcorn, get ready. You can't miss this. Trust me. All right, Drew. You have the card pulled up for the pay-per-view. All right. Let's go ahead and get that bad boy started. Spark it up.
First match that we got. WWE Raw Tag Team titles. The New Day taking on the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin.
Are you probably trying to build a stable full of champions? What's his face, the U.S. champion?
Bobby Lashley. How dare you call him what's his face?
I expect
a fucking Hall of Famer there.
The CEO of the Hurt Business.
Expect that word, but you know. Who back you got, Drew?
I got the Hurt Business.
I do too.
What about you, Swerve?
Oh, you know it's Lashley all the way.
Next, we have Sasha Banks taking on Carmella for the women's title.
This will be a good match, but this won't mean a victory for Mela Money. I've got Sasha with the retain.
This will be Carmella's best match she ever had, but she'll lose.
Because of the fact that because of what's been going on in our dirt section, I believe they're pulling that women's title like they pulled Snoop's merch. Carmella's walking away with this.
Wow.
Because WWE is that petty.
You never have respect for Sasha, Drew.
You know, I have respect for Sasha, but I also respect how petty WWE is.
Well, I don't. What do we got next?
Next match, according to Wikipedia, is TLC. What's that?
I was laughing.
TLC match for the Universal title. Roman Reigns against Kevin Owens.
You know what I'm gonna call this match? Bathroom break.
Wow, really?
Don't care about it. I know Roman Reigns is going over. Don't care.
Yeah,
Means
I'm
nothing.
a little bit surprised that they're blowing this at TLC. I thought that they could have taken this maybe to as Mania, because they were starting to put Kevin Owens in a spot where he could look like that. But yeah, Roman's going over. Is this unanimous? Swerve, are you saying that?
Absolutely. This is also, I would feel like one of those matches that might not main event just because the opponent stock isn't up there.
Yeah,
So it
this is
might not
not
even
main
main
event.
event.
This is Roman Reigns saying, "Hey, I want to get home for Sunday Night Football."
I don't even think this is like the wrestler, bro. I think this is like involved with storyline, and they've got Roman doing 3 different things at once. Like it's just too much. So I think this match is it's the working champions match. This is hey, anybody in the back want to challenge me for my championship? I'm issuing an open challenge. That's what I feel like this is.
But I will say, if this culminates in Jey Uso pushing that ladder and costing Roman, and no one gets the win, and this leads to a bitter continuation of that bitter feud, I'm up for it.
Well, I can promise you it won't lead to that because, as you guys did not mention in your dirt, you know Goldberg is calling his name. So let's not do that.
Oh, and by the way, I expect the same fucking vile hatred about Sting showing up as Goldberg saying you're next while drinking his fucking Centrum Silver.
I didn't
Motherfucker
even know
needs to
this
be
was
home to watch The Price is Right. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh man,
They're already doing the specials on the network. Oh, take a look back at Goldberg's undefeated streak. Why? Motherfucker happened like 20 years ago.
So I was watching something earlier today where Paul Heyman was giving all of the just due to Goldberg, how good of a wrestler he is, and how impactful of a wrestler he is. And I said, yo, this can't be real.
Bill Goldberg played in the NFL when the Falcons had those red helmets. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he played alongside Mongo McMichael.
Mongo played for the Bears. Come on.
I'm making that up. I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying.
Mongo's a Super Bowl champion. You better put some respect on the name.
Mongo got his name brought up twice in like 3 weeks over here.
Listen, I'm trying to have a Mongo appreciation month.
Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
You don't hear me though.
No, we hear you. We just don't feel you.
Do you remember how he got written off of WCW TV? Greatest fucking thing ever.
You know he's on
Hulk Hogan just comes out during one of his matches with like a bucket full of like a custodian bucket and just like throws the thing of bleach in his face. And that was the last time you saw Steve McMichael.
You know he's on Twitter?
He is?
He's under the name Mongo. He's there. He's tweeting about current products.
Oh my god.
Go look him
What
up.
the fuck does he know?
I don't know.
The greatest contribution he gave to wrestling was Deborah.
For real.
And that's not even like great on the scale of being great.
Hey, Steve Austin thought it was a hit.
Well, I mean, blonde
hair. Yeah, I said it.
Who else wouldn't think it hit? What do we got next?
Next up, we have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler taking on Asuka and a partner for choosing for the women's championship,
which was supposed to be Lana.
Yeah, but she got hurt on Raw. So
all those tables paid off, I guess.
pretty much. Um, yeah, I don't really care. Oscar's winning.
Are we just going to assume that Ronda's coming back?
You know, Drew, I don't know. I don't know.
She's a surer bet than Becky right now.
I mean, it would be a surprise pop, but again, I'm kind of like in a mindset with the Rock's thinking, like, yo, I'm not coming back until there's fans here because that pop's not going to be the same. I think she deserves a big pop.
I
I
don't
don't
think that
tell you
she'll
she
do
deserves
that.
a pop, but she deserves a big pop.
I don't think she'll feel that way only because everybody in USC is used to no prob by now.
Yeah, but Ronda isn't though.
Well, she would have to get used to it if she came back there. So I don't think she's gonna feel that way. She might like it better if there is no crowd. So they can't tell that she sucks.
Oh god.
Now they're also talking that this might be a way to call up Io Shirai from NXT.
They got to stop with these call ups, and they're not mean shit.
Especially when you're saying that NXT is its own brand and not like the developmental anymore. But they're calling people up.
It's like they're calling you, but they're leaving you on hold.
No, they're calling, and you pick up and you say, "Yo, I'm on the way." They never show up. Yo, where you at? Yeah, I'm around the corner.
They didn't pick up the phone when you said you outside.
Back. Back. Yo, I'm outside. Yo, dude, I don't see you. I'm standing right here.
See her turn the lights off. You looking at the window like, I know you up there. Now you home. You was talking good on the phone, but now you not home.
Right. You know how that go. Yeah, they got to stop calling people up, especially, you know what? Their track record with bringing up women superstars recently isn't so hot. Because, I mean, we all talk about Charlotte and Becky and Sasha, but that happened a little bit years ago.
It all went downhill with that 4-pack or 6-pack, whatever it was. It was EC3,
Yep.
Lars. Who else was it in there?
When they announced them on Raw. Right after, I don't know who else was in there. Ricochet?
Yeah, he might have been in there, but yeah. You know, what was it them? Was it Aleister Black in there too?
Yep.
They all get promos. They like a package deal. Like, yeah, you order this 6-piece, you get a drink with it or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
they ain't do nothing with none of them.
Yeah, I agree. It was all the way bad. Yeah, but just stop calling them up for a little bit. You're already sitting Keith Lee down, so allegedly, don't call anybody else up.
Well, he's not going down to NXT. He's going to developmental. So they're like, you need more training. It's like,
Well, that's even worse.
The worst part is he's concerned about these big guys training, but not concerned about his full-on roster's mic work. The fact of the matter is, Pat McAfee, who's not a wrestler, who's had no promo training in these wonderful promo classes, literally made every single wrestler in that company look like a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Because he went out there in NXT and he cut the best promos of anyone in that company. So when you're sitting there going, oh, well, you need to go back to developmental. We have this great developmental. Really? You have this great developmental? Because this guy who's never been a wrestler runs circles around anyone's promos. So what's going on here?
Yeah, he definitely talking circles around all of them.
You got a fucking punter making your entire company look like shit.
Yeah.
So the next match that we had was Bray Wyatt taking on Randy Orton.
Oh, this weird shit.
This is the tacos match. This is where you're getting up and you're making your dinner.
Well, on Raw, there was a hide and go seek with these two,
Great.
where I guess Wyatt was in a was it a casket, something like that. I forgot. Where his hand sticked out and Orton's face showed a reaction that was, wow, oh my god, I can't believe it, something like that. I mean, whatever. We've seen this match 1,000 times before. I don't know. I don't know what they expect us to say this match. You know how I feel about Orton. I like him, but then they took the belt off of him and put it back on Drew. That's when I said I'm done. Took the belt off of Bray, put it on Goldberg. I'm done. I don't know. I'm just kind of kind of over it. Sour grapes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this feud, it just, to me, it's just, we have nothing to do with these guys, so we're just putting them together. Randy Orton, you could just tell, he's the type of guy who, when he's not in the top storyline and he's the guy going over, if he's not in that position, he just goes through the motions. He'll be all in it if he knows he's going to be the champion. But if he's doing anything else besides being the champion, you're just getting through the motions. Let's just do this, Randy Orton.
Yeah. It shouldn't have to be like that,
I mean, you could bring in younger talent instead of relying on guys that you've had for the last 17 years.
You could, but then you don't. So, is that the last match?
No, the last match is Drew McIntyre taking on AJ Styles in a TLC match.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. McIntyre. Could we mention?
I'm still going to stick with my prediction of The Miz cashing in during the match.
Why? Because he had that little jingle song on Raw saying he would do that?
No, I can just see something happening where, Miz shows up, he cashes in, and now Drew McIntyre has to chase. And maybe he wins the Royal Rumble again or something, but I can definitely see this happening where Miz goes into WrestleMania as a champ.
So are you saying right now, Drew, this is where the road to Roman versus McIntyre it starts here?
Yeah. But I mean, with the Miz, if he doesn't cash in now, when?
Yeah,
It's not going to happen in WrestleMania because everyone expects that to happen at Mania ever since Rollins. It doesn't really make sense anytime during that or like in between that because when? This is the perfect opportunity. He could come in, he could pin AJ, so Drew still has his shine, but you get the belt off of him. And maybe we go into a feud where he wrestles Roman at Mania.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so Swerve, do you think Miz will cash in?
No, I don't think he's going to cash in on this pay-per-view. I honestly think they want to do away with that briefcase all together this year, but they just, they got to do something with it. So,
well, Miz is the perfect utility guy. He's the perfect guy to if you want to have something where you have Drew and Roman together in WrestleMania, you can get the belt off Drew with Miz. That way you have somebody who you're confident in having the belt. You get it off Drew. You keep the shine on him. But you get him over to SmackDown to wrestle Roman.
Yeah, I can see that. I just think
The only other thing that I see is if Drew keeps it, I could possibly see Jey Uso screwing over Roman, Roman winning the Royal Rumble, and going after Drew.
I think if he screws Roman over, it's gonna be like damn near the end of the collapse of the Roman Empire, or whatever he's calling it. And that part of the movie traditionally comes near the end.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think? Now we got our jabronis coming up. Do you think that because I had a hard time trying to figure out match of the year, at least some good candidates, so I can go back and forth between myself. Do you guys see any match of the year worthy candidates on this pay per view?
No.
No.
Maybe worst match.
Oh, okay. And that would be what?
If I had to look just at this card, just at the card, I would probably be looking at that tag match with Nia and Shayna against Asuka and whoever her partner is, because you know Nia's a clumsy fuck. Whoever Asuka's partner is, if she is maybe not as polished, that can lead to a pretty shitty match.
I think I got worst match on lock.
Yeah, I mean, granted, there's worse matches this year. And I don't think that anything on this card will come close, but it's definitely a potential to have a shitty match.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna watch live. I mean, I might. This is NFL's hot season right now. Playoffs and all. My team's in it, so we'll see. But I'm gonna go back and look at the replay at least. Watch the condensed version. Um, but I don't know. I mean, this year's been real tough with finding those type of matches because I don't know if it's COVID or what, but it's just I don't know. I just don't have as many that I thought I would. Um, Now, Swerve, you said you got match of the year on lock.
No, well, worst match of the year. I think I have on lock.
Worst match of the year. Well, we're gonna before we leave you guys, we're gonna get to just a little bit of some jabronis here. So
Now, before you do that,
oh, go ahead.
I did have a question from somebody who asked what the Hall of Fame was, because last year all three of us gave our inductions into the Hall of Fame for literally completely different reasons.
I think it's interpretation.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame is life. It is being. It is whatever you want it to be. Whether that means that it is, you've had the worst year, but you look like you could turn it around, or it's, hey, this person's gonna be on the rise, or this person just had such a fucking collapse. They are awful, and I gotta fucking just commemorate them for it. Whatever you want it to be.
My reason for putting probably the most famous person in the Hall of Fame, Baron Corbin, was who the fuck would have thought Baron Corbin would be rubbing shoulders with the likes of Triple H and the big wigs and getting spots with Roman and getting mic work every week. It's like he's gonna be doing something right. I know he doesn't belong here, but I'll go along with the story. So you know what? Let's put him in the Hall of Fame. That's why I did it.
Last year I put Naomi in the Hall of Fame because her husband had fucked up so hard that she got Thanos snapped out of existence. So I put her in the Hall of Fame for that reason.
Where I wrote down who you put in the Hall. I forgot who it was though.
Naomi.
I said Swerve.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't really last in there.
No, Swerve put R-Truth in the hole.
Yeah, you did. You
Oh,
definitely did.
true. That sounds about right.
Yeah,
He
because
had a run.
he somehow made the 24/7 belt mean something.
That is a superstar, folks. When you say he could work with anything, that's what we're talking about. That right there.
So if you're asking yourself, does the Hall of Fame mean this or that, or the answer is yes. It's just yes.
I mean, here's what the Hall of Fame doesn't represent. We're not giving out gold jackets for accomplishments for winning 8 championships and being a main eventer at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble or being the exemplary, co-worker. We're giving it out for more unique situations. And
Yeah, because I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because you got to remember, this Hall of Fame, it's not named after like Steve Austin or Bret Hart or The Rock. It's named after our Lord and Savior who died in a safe co-field bathroom for our sins. Nathan Jones.
And then he rose, Drew. He rose.
And then he rose.
He is risen. This is so blasphemous. Oh my God, please. I'm sorry.
Y'all gonna
20 minutes later, he rose from that grave. He opened the door and the bathroom was empty. And then he rose.
Well, there was somebody next to him shitting.
Y'all gonna have to put more respect on his name in April. That's all I'm gonna say.
And Pontius Pilate pointed out to him and says, "That's the man we killed in the bathroom." And he answered with an awkward roundhouse kick. And the dead man was saved by our Lord and Savior, Nathan Jesus Christ Jones.
My man came out with no shirt on and the track pants, man, and delivered the Raw House heard around the world. Respect.
When we break bread on April 4th, every year, we remember the Roundhouse. We give blessing to the Roundhouse. Eat from my body, drink from my blood, piss in my urinal.
Yeah. If there was ever an intro needed for the Nathan Jones Memorial, I think we just got it with that right there. Listen, man, Undertaker, forever indebted. You know why? Because Swerve, without Nathan Jones, what happens to that streak with the Undertaker?
Man, listen, he gets that blemish early. He was against Big Show and A-Train? Come on, fam.
Right. Like, dog, you don't get your man with the buggy eyes in the front row at Mania. You don't get that. That's just facts.
The blessings are accounted in a bountiful. He saved the streak. He made a miracle by defeating 2 super heavyweights. He did it in track pants.
Coming out of a urinal while somebody next to him was probably eating a Frankfurter the size of Michigan.
On our rosaries, instead of beads, we have urinal cakes. And instead of a crucifix, it's the Seattle Mariners logo. Praise be the Space Needle.
That's word to Fraser Crane. You know what I mean? Oh my God. So, yes, we kid. But listen, this is one of the shows that I look forward to all year. This is the 3rd time doing it. The Jabronis, they are just Swervy, No Chill, and Total Mac, me, our awards for the past calendar year. And I think this year, because of so much coverage we've given to AEW, we've decided to mix the two. Last year was heavy WWE, but when you hear match of the year, worst match, pay-per-view of the year, you're going to hear things like Kenny Omega against Hangman Page, or you're going to hear, John Moxley, or you're gonna hear Nia Jax is the Jabroni of the year. You're gonna hear stuff like that. So that's where things stand in regards to the Jabronis. So the 29th of December, we're gonna talk, our normal show when everything happens in the real wrestling world, but then we're also going to celebrate the year that was, and that is the third annual Jabroni Awards. Now, just looking at last year, some of the categories we want to talk about, the take homes from last year. We don't have music. I will get music because we need it. It's a part of the show. Looking at last year, worst pay-per-view, we said it was Super Showdown easily. Without giving anything away, or if we want to, we can talk about the nominees. Is there any lead dog as far as the worst pay-per-view for 2020 goes?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I feel like I have one written down.
We might all have the same pay-per-view, so let's not talk about it yet.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I kind of struggle with this one because there are a lot of in the middle of the pack ones for me. So we'll see. Moving on to the next category that we can kind of talk about just a little bit.
Do you want to also go over what won last year?
Okay, so yeah, all right. So
I could pull up that list if you want me to.
I got it. So here's what we'll do. For those who are unfamiliar with the Jabronis, we're gonna give out every category. So start thinking, start pondering. Here are the categories, and I will announce the winner from the year prior. First award, Male Superstar of the Year. That award last year went to Kofi Kingston. That goes without saying. So the process of how we pick winners is Swervey, No Chill, and I will come up with our own answer. And sometimes it's 2 versus 1. Sometimes it's a clean sweep. Other times we've got 3 different answers. So we trust each other. It is up to myself, Swerve, and No Chill to basically say, okay, here's my pick. I'm going to make a case for it, or, oh, damn, I forgot about that. I'm going to choose someone else's. We do majority rules. Kofi Kingston was the superstar last year that I think we got 2 different answers on. I don't think he was mine, but he definitely was Swerve's. And Swerve looked at me because we were in the room. This is pre-COVID. He's like, yo, come on, man. Were people crying? Were kids crying? Were wrestlers in the back crying? I said, all right.
I think me and Swerve both picked Kofi.
I forgot who I had. It might have been Becky Lynch. It might have been. Oh, no, that's, well, female superstar of the year. Female superstar of the year last year was Becky Lynch. Drew, that was your pick.
I mean, I think that went without saying. I mean, she was the most over wrestler in the company, male or female, at the time. So that went without saying.
And she went ahead and got pregnant.
Yeah. Another one fell to Seth Rollins.
Moving on is the glow up of the year. The glow up of the year is a superstar that no one saw coming, kind of like the most improved wrestler. And last year it was Bray Wyatt because of the Fiend. That ended very quickly. I don't know who. I think that was unanimous.
No, Swervey did not fucking vote for the Fiend.
He might have did. I don't remember.
But now this year, upcoming, we're going to have the opposite to that for the first time.
Yes.
That being the LeBron Hairline Award for the biggest regression.
could Bray Wyatt take that?
He might.
Because Lord have mercy. All right. Another one of our favorite categories is botch of the year. Last year's winner was Undertaker and Goldberg, where Goldberg in the Super Showdown could not see the Undertaker from a ring post, and the Undertaker was pretty pissed about working that match with Bill. So, that one, if you're listening, that category is always a hoot, a lot of laughter, especially for me. So I can't wait for that one. Next category is match of the year. Last year's match of the year, Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania. I don't know if that was contested. It might have been, from my memory. I'm trying to think. I think I had a match on Raw, and I think Drew has something different. We were arguing this for a little bit, from what I remember. Worst match of the year.
So match of the year, yeah, I think it was a tie that Buff Bobby Bagwell broke.
Yes.
I think that was the one where we had to actually call him and have him break it.
Yes, he did. Buff Bobby Bagwell did end up breaking the tie because it went down to the end. I forgot who you picked, Drew.
I forgot.
But
we had to phone a friend on that one.
We definitely did. Worst match of the year. This is one where all of us were in unison. This was the Hell in a Cell match where there was no winner. I don't know. That was where the Fiend was involved in that. Fiend took home about a goal last year, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. We said the worst pay-per-view was Super Showdown. We did the best pay-per-view was WrestleMania 35. We did the Jabroni of the Year. Last year was Sami Zayn. Was Jabroni of the Year. As a common phrase I use on this podcast, the greater later. Sami Zayn has definitely risen from his jabroni status.
Now, he was not the unanimous pick. I think both of you guys picked Sammy, and I picked Mike Kanellis. But Sammy did win over.
Yeah, Mike Kanellis definitely earned a spot on the list because he was
the OG cuck.
He definitely was OG cuck. Jabronette of the Year. The only, I gotta put some respect on her name, the only 2-time winner in any category. Dana Brooke.
Let's go.
She won it the first year and did it last year. Now, I don't know what the hell Dana Brooke's been doing, but then I found out recently that she's paired up with Mandy Rose. So if she does something at TLC that's jabroni status, by golly, she might be shooing for the 3rd straight year.
That's impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. In the Hall of Fame, last year was I put in R-Truth last year. Drew, you put in Naomi, and Swerve put in Bobby Lashley. So that was the jabronis. It's going to be good. Again, just to wrap up, Botch of the Year, Glow Up, Regression, Male and Female Superstar, Match of the Year, Worst Match of the Year, Best and Worst Pay-Per-View, and then the Jabroni and Jabronette of the Year. It is going to be a good show. I'm excited. Do we have anything from Avi?
No, we do not. Perhaps we can get his thoughts on the final show of the year, or maybe some pre-recorded thoughts.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we haven't heard of Avi cut a promo in a while. Maybe we'll hear from our friends, Uop and Avi, see what they think about what's going on with Kenny Omega and AEW, because I know that's what they care about more so than what's going on over there in Connecticut. Um, did you all have anything before we get about this match?
No,
Yeah.
just to tell the people at home to make sure you subscribe. Once again, if we get 100 subscribers on YouTube, we are going to do a giveaway, so look out for that. And then in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be giving out our jabronis, the most prestigious awards in all of pro wrestling.
That's right. Listen if you can. Subscribe if he let you. You know what I mean? You heard?
You know what I mean?
Now, these awards are actually so prestigious. Should we tell the people where we keep them?
I mean, why? Because the WWE doesn't tell us where they keep the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's where we keep them. We keep them in the basement of the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, damn, Drew. I don't want to give it away, but you just
Well,
go right
now
ahead.
you know.
Well, if you know, you know, you know.
Yeah.
All right. For Swervy Lee and No Chill Drew, my name is Total Mac. This is the No Pyro Podcast. Hit us up SoundCloud and YouTube under that same name. Subscribe and continue to listen. We will be back in 2 weeks. Enjoy Christmas. Get your eggnog. Get your music right. Spend time with family if you're doing it virtually. If you're doing it 6 feet from each other, please stay safe, wear your mask. We'll see each other next Christmas too. And besides that, doses.